Inching closer to the conference finals, the success from several teams wouldn't be possible without the help of their undrafted rotational players, guys who allowed their teams in good position for their superstar teammates to close out games. Every championship contender will have to rely on unsung heroes, glue guys responsible for helping their teams win several titles in the past. Whether it's suffocating defense in Game 7 or key shots, draining daggers, changing the momentum of series. No better example than the 2004 undrafted Big Ben Wallace, responsible for containing Shaq and the Lakers, anchoring one of the best NBA defenses all time. That was 20 years ago. While none of today's undrafted guys remaining in these 2024 playoffs will make a Ben Wallace type impact, their all-out effort will be heavily appreciated, helping their teams get to this position. Starting with Derrick Jones Jr. of the Dallas Mavericks, after declining his $3.3 million player option with the Bulls, became one of the latest free agent signings back in August. 1 year, $2.7, proved to be a perfect fit on both ends. After some believe he could be out the NBA, the now 27-year-old absolutely proved himself these playoffs. An X factor for the Clippers series, finds every window of opportunity, used that speed and athleticism to perfection, will eventually get rewarded by Luka dropping dimes. Jones double-digit scoring games 2-5 versus the Clippers, filling in the Dorian Finney-Smith role better than most could have imagined. Averaging 30 minutes these playoffs absolutely helped the Mavs with their transition game. Luka being one of the slowest players end to end, but one of the smartest, always seems to find Jones Jr. in the perfect spots. OKC dared him to shoot Game 4 loss, went 6 of 7 from 2, but a poor 1 of 5 from deep, attacks the rim at full force, has quick feet switching on multiple defenders. Some believe DJJ more than capable of making defensive second team, but ineligible. Officially now known as more than just a dunker, will be one of the big names this coming free agency. Many teams can't wait to make their appeal. An underrated glue guy absolutely needs to improve on his three-point shooting. That'll potentially triple his contract after the Nets going forward. Naz Strus of the Cleveland Cavaliers, regardless of the outcome of the Boston series, not a total disappointment. About to lose to a way more superior team, 4 year $63 million, totally worth the deal. The now 28-year-old, super low-key to Miami's finals run a season ago, will always be cherished in South Beach when his team was minutes away from getting eliminated out the play-in. The Heat team last season, way more offensively structured with flowing ball movement than this unstructured Cleveland offense. Strus a hit or miss, but showed out in the most important games. Series tied 2-2 with Orlando, dropped 16 big points resulting in a 1-point win, 11 in the third, drained a huge 3 with under 4 minutes left, been in plenty of late game situations, a 13.3 of 6 shooting Game 7. If Strus wasn't on Cleveland, safe to say they wouldn't have taken down the Magic. Should it be relied upon to carry the team outside of hitting a couple jumpers? From 15 points first half Game 4, followed by nothing the last 24 minutes, losing to Boston. The Strus experience, super wild and loose, streaky nonetheless. TJ McConnell of the Indiana Pacers, one of the hardest working role players in the game, is an absolute travesty. Rick Carlisle elected not to play him down the stretch Game 2 at MSG, allowing Jalen Brunson to cook everybody else repeatedly. First 2 losses on the road, Indy a plus 19 with TJ, a staggering minus 32 without. The 32-year-old having a sensational playoff run in the prime of his career, closed out Milwaukee with a 20.8 rebound, 4 steal masterclass, one of the best contracts in the game, signed 4 years $33, the contagious energy, winning plays, makes him one of the most likable role players in the game, the player many absolutely hate to play against, arguably the best point guard in the league, way better than loudmouth Patrick Beverley, who talks way too heavily. McConnell more heart than 99% of the league, his first season averaging over double digits. For a guy considered too undersized, not fast or explosive, and struggle shooting the ball, would be the perfect Thibodeau guy. Also most memorable for keeping the 2018 Sixers afloat, Brett Brown stupidly decided to put Ben Simmons back in the game, who cost them Game 2 and that series, finished with 1 point. McConnell, the definition of a scrappy baller, the only reason why the in-season tournament finals was exciting, bringing his team back before the better Laker team pulled away. TJ continuing to be unfazed in the biggest moments, the most important defender on a bad defensive team, not afraid to put the ball on the floor and get buckets on his own, has Knicks fans on their knees praying Rick Carlisle takes him out every chance there is, an absolute fan favorite in the Indy. 2 decades down the line, many fathers will be telling their sons how tough that son of a gun TJ McConnell was. Luguentz Dort of OKC, one of the most physically built perimeter players, making Luka's life in the series absolutely miserable. Only listed 6'3", but can guard 1 to 3. Now 25 years old, from putting on a defensive masterclass, being an unknown against the elite prime James Harden in the bubble, to holding Doncic to below 20 points in 2 of his 4 total playoff games that happened this series. The Thunder easily be down 3-1 without Dort's presence, testing Luka's conditioning and physical capabilities to the max. Super capable knockdown shooter. What's most impressive about all the young Thunder? No egos, everybody stays together. One of the most mature young teams the league has ever seen. Regardless of the outcome of this long series, it will likely be Luka's most painful one for his career. Dort getting nicknames such as Torture Chamber, aggressive at all times, one of the players brought up in many NBA players capable of playing NFL conversations. Justin Holiday of the Denver Nuggets, huge factor turning the Minnesota series around, capable of hitting threes. The now 35-year-old seeking for his second title, winning one with 2015 Golden State, a true sniper in the 9 minutes without Jokic Game 4, Denver being a +4 with Holiday and Christian Brown having 11 combined points that 3-minute stretch, doing his part, holding his own against Minnesota's bench lineup. That Lakers series was more for Peyton Watson's defensive activity, but Holiday more balanced offensively, much better suited for Minnesota. 11 NBA seasons in, only sniffed the playoff 2 other years, suffered long enough being on bad teams like the Bulls, barely playing in the regular season, to being a postseason X factor, bringing his championship experience in full display. Naz Reed of the Minnesota Timberwolves, absolutely well-deserved 6-man winner, looked better than Karl Anthony Towns some nights, good minutes in the Phoenix series, played the best defense of his career Game 2, containing Jokic in the blowout. Despite the tables turning, Reed's quick decisions with either shooting or attacking makes him a true offensive threat, has excellent touch around the basket, developing into one of the best shooting bigs with filthy handles and punishing smaller guys. It's an absolute travesty. Reed didn't play a single minute of the 4th quarter Game 4, seeing Karl Towns play like doo-doo, people literally getting $20 Naz Reed tattoos, and Minnesota's coaching staff not making good counters to Denver's comeback punch. Reed tremendously excelling as a two-way player, the large frame, 7'3" wingspan. Minnesota might as well start him and Karl Towns together Game 6 and put Rudy on maternity leave after getting torched by Jokic. Minnesota's only hope, trying to outgun Denver offensively and be physical. Reed's skill set good enough to start for pretty much every other NBA team in the league. The type of guy every Laker fan wished Rui Hachimura was. 2 years left on his deal, signed last season, 3 years only 42, one of the best decisions the Timberwolves franchise ever made. Honorable mentions for other undrafted players who lost in the first round. Austin Reeves of the Lakers, now somewhat viewed as a scapegoat. LA fans being desperate to improve, wanting another star caliber player. Reed, solid overall, continues to show his ability to raise his level of play in the playoffs and create for himself when LeBron and AD takes off a couple offensive possessions. But Reed simply asked to do too much for his bargain of a contract, guarding the opposing team's best perimeter players to getting blamed when they score on him. Reeves honestly would look much better if he was consistently paired with a good backcourt defender, unlike D'Angelo Russell. Maxi Kleber looking like a big loss for Dallas, solid outside shooting. Najee Marshall of New Orleans will be a free agent, look better than teammate Brandon Ingram in a couple of those OKC matchups. Caleb Martin, super on and off, remembered for last season's conference finals dominance, almost winning East MVP. Fell off ever since, until Game 2 road win in Boston for 21 points. Too bad he's under contract for another season. Will need to average at least 13 points next season to have a Matt Strus similar type deal. Which one of these undrafted players surprised you most for these playoffs? Your thoughts on the comments below. More amazing NBA playoff content coming soon. See y'all next time.